Brought to you by Penguin. Waiting for Sunshine by Jane Sanderson. Read by Sofia Zervudachi. Chapter 1. March 1997. When the call came, they were at the cinema, watching a weekend classic screening of Rear Window, which they'd both seen before, but so had everyone else. That was the whole point. Not that Chrissie and Stuart were Hitchcock scholars. They were only there because it was something to do while they waited for the call. But everyone else in the audience looked studiously reverential, as if there'd be a test afterwards, or a Q&A with Hitch himself. Then Stuart's phone began to buzz and bounce in his jacket pocket, and the silent, unanimous censure spread like a cloud of dry ice through the auditorium, especially when not only did he fail to switch it off, but also took it from his pocket and lifted it higher so that Chrissie could see too. Angela Holt. They looked at each other across the phantom glow, and the name on the screen seemed to pulse like an artery. Their immediate neighbours tutted now, and darted pointed looks. But Stuart answered the call, right there in the middle of row G. He answered the call, stood up, and started making a path none too gently down through the legs to the central aisle, saying, "Angela, hi, hang on. I'm just..." "Sorry?" "No, it's fine. One moment, just bear with me." While Chrissie followed, apologising in frantic whispers to their fellow cinema-goers, who stared at her and refused to forgive. It was, after all, unforgivable. Out in the foyer, Chrissie hung back while Stuart did that thing he always did on the phone, stalking about like a caged tiger, the handset pressed hard to his right ear. He always looked cross when he took a call. He always looked as though he was locked in verbal combat. She leaned against a wall and stared at the film posters without seeing them, hugging herself, wondering what news Angela had, bracing herself against over-optimism. And then he was in front of her, his face bright and alive with news. "A girl," he said. "She's 3. A very good match, Angela says." "A girl," Chrissie said, on an outward breath. A girl, aged 3. Older than they'd originally wanted, but they'd let go of all their own criteria months ago. So, a girl of 3. A very good match. Such a strange term, like an arranged marriage. She felt lightheaded, and let herself slide down the wall and sit cross-legged on the floor. "She's in foster care. Been there best part of a year," Stuart said. "A year? Wow." "Yeah." He paused, considered the 12 months they hadn't known about her, then carried on. He was aware of an usher and a girl at the pick-and-mix staring at them, doubtful looks on their faces. "Angela says she could be ideal. Although it'll have to go to panel, obviously. But she says we could meet her soon. Just a brief visit. She's in Whitstable of all places." "Nancy hasn't mentioned her. Does she know her?" "I expect so. We didn't talk about that." "What's her name?" Stuart halted. "I didn't ask." Chrissie laughed. "Stu! Here, let me call her back," she said, and reached up for his phone. "Remember what Nancy said?" "I know." "If you can't live with the name, you can't live with the kid. I know." She looked up at him while the phone rang out, said, "God, what if she's called Angela?" Then swiftly adjusted her tone when the other woman picked up. "Oh, hi. Hi, Angela. Hi, hello, yeah, it's Chrissie," she said, and then tailed off when Angela immediately interrupted and began.
"Sample complete. Ready to continue?"